Welcome to Nitty. My name's Mizan, and today I've got something very special for you guys. Long-term viewers of Nitty will know I have a big thing for displacement. I love big engines, and this is exactly that. Not only is this a big engine, it's a supercharged engine, which is something I'm very, very excited to have on the channel. Before we get into anything, let's quickly talk about price. Now, right now, as you guys know, there's inflation when it comes to the used car market. That's to do with the chip shortage when it comes to new cars. So cars like this are worth more than what they usually would be. Right now, this car is worth around £12,000. But realistically, outside of that little bubble, I think they're worth about 9 grand. In terms of power, this car has got 328 brake horsepower and 440 Newton meters of torque. It's paired with a 7-speed DSG gearbox, and it's got a proper Torsen Quattro 4-wheel drive, not this Haldex that you get with smaller Audis and VW products. So let's talk about the star of the show. It's this engine. This engine is the only supercharged engine Audi has ever produced. It's a 3-litre V6. Now, this same engine has been put into other models, but I believe that this is the only actual lump that they made. Funny thing is, it says TFSI on the cover. That's an absolute lie. It's a supercharged block. So for those of you wondering, what does a turbocharged or supercharged engine exactly do? Both use exhaust gas that's on the way out to turn the compressor and pressurize air to give the engine a boost. The main difference is a turbo itself needs to spool. That's what causes turbo lag in the lower end of a rev range. Now, turbos are quite good for various things. Number one is fuel economy. It makes the car a lot more fuel efficient, but it does ruin exhaust note. They're also very tunable. So if you've got a turbocharged car, you can get a remap and you can get a lot more gains by even doing a basic stage on with no hardware modifications. A supercharger, on the other hand, doesn't need to spool because it's a belt driven with the engine and it runs at the same speed as the engine. That's why it's instant. There's no lag. It's not as efficient as turbocharged cars. It doesn't affect noise at all. So you can have a 3-litre, 4-litre, V8, V10, whatever you want, and it will sound just as good as it does when it's naturally aspirated. That's why I love supercharged engines. In the modern day and age, only Jaguar Land Rover use supercharged engines, and they sound phenomenal. They don't have as much tuning capability as a turbocharged engine, though, keep in mind. Personally speaking, if a car is a V8 or bigger than that, I think I'd rather have a supercharged engine because noise is a massive factor. I don't think you care about fuel efficiency when you're driving a V8 or something bigger than that, right? So I think I'd rather have a supercharged engine. I think a power you can get out of a supercharger is enough and you can just live with it. Now, anything smaller than that, such as a V6 or inline-6 like my M135i, I'm not fussed. I think there's pros and cons of both. But anything smaller than that, like a 5-cylinder or a 4-cylinder, it has to be turbocharged because you need that fuel economy and it's going to need the added power of those turbos. One little anecdote I want to mention is that this 3-litre supercharged V6 has always been available on the Audi S4. It was the only engine choice, whereas its sibling, the Audi S5, launched 2 years prior in 2007 with a 4.2-litre naturally aspirated V8. Now, in 2009, Audi put this V6 engine in the Audi S5 as well. Both ran at the same time, and you could pick up a V6 or a V8. It was your choice as a consumer. In 2011, Audi didn't give you the option anymore. You could only get the V6. So literally, if you go on the forums, there's a whole debate about whether you should get the V6 or the V8. Chris Harris took one of these supercharged V6s and put it up against a 4.2-litre naturally aspirated V8. And with a simple tune, it was able to keep up with it. So do not underestimate this engine. It is actually very, very powerful. I think with the 4.2-litre V8, you're going to get that noise. But the honest truth is, I have heard it is a bit slow. Whereas this 3-litre V6, it can be punchy and fast, and it's got a lot of tuning potential. Now, I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's go for a drive. You're going to meet Mo, who's the owner, and we'll go from there. We've got Mo. Meet Mo. How you doing, Mo?
What's up, guys?
Thank you for coming down, man. I really appreciate it, man. So, Mo, how long you had this S4?
Bro, I've had it for about 4 years, man.
It's 4 years is a long time to own a car, though.
Yeah.
How much did you pick it out for? Because obviously 4 years ago, what was the value of these back then?
Bro, 4 years ago, I must have paid about, I think it was close to 14 grand.
14 grand? They're worth 12 grand now?
Yeah, 14 grand.
Wow.
4 years ago, man.
Wow, and you've done your mileage and enjoyed the car. That is actually nuts. You've actually enjoyed the car and you pretty much lost. That's the thing about performance cars. If you owned a normal A4, you'd have lost a lot more on depreciation.
Yeah,
I mean, the normal A4 of this car worth what, 6 grand? So you're saying your gearbox went, yeah?
Yeah, the gearbox went. I think it's a common thing in these Audis.
DSGs.
The DSGs, yeah, like so obviously I didn't change the whole gearbox. I changed the clutch on it, changed a couple solenoids and stuff. You know, like just a couple bits next to the gearbox. Yeah, man, it's a pricey job. I think it cost me close to 3,500.
Wow. Is there any recommendations you have for anyone looking to pick one of these up?
Yeah, I mean, I would say try get one with
regular servicing on the gearbox.
Yeah, of course, yeah, regular service on the gearbox. Try get one with like low mileage if possible. See if there's any gearbox one, you know, work be done to it. Because with this, there was no sign. You know, I just got a sign saying gearbox malfunction, and you know that was it. That was the end of that.
I see.
So, but yeah, I mean these are really good cars. You know, like the engine.
Yeah.
You know, the engine is bulletproof, like on these cars. Put in the gearbox, I haven't had no issues with it, you know, whatsoever.
Really?
Obviously, you got to top up the engine oil, but I think they're just Audi. You know,
yeah.
If you go on their website, I think they say every 12 to 1500 miles, you got to top up like 1 litre.
Yeah, I think it's alarming when you get to 500 miles. How's the car on fuel, man? Because supercharged engines are not exactly fuel efficient. So I'm wondering.
What? I'll be honest, around the city, I've seen as low as 5 mpg.
Whoa!
Yeah, maybe even less. But on the motorways, like
on the drive here, for example.
Like on the drive here, I'm not too sure what average. 22 mpg.
But that's taking your 6 mpg and that all into consideration.
Yeah. I have seen 30 mpg on this.
Yeah, because obviously you got a 7-speed, so
yeah, I've got
you're not exactly revving at. The other thing I was gonna say is your car, you've literally got no modifications apart from a resonator delete.
Other than that, this is fully stock.
In terms of spec, this is quite a base spec one as well, isn't it? Funnily enough.
Yeah, funny enough it is. I mean, it hasn't got any heated seats, it hasn't got folding mirrors or anything like that.
Yeah, the only thing I can tell you is you've got carbon in the car, which does look good, but you're saying it's a factory option, isn't it? But as I told you, these Dodge Demons and all these American muscle cars have that whine that comes at supercharger, and I told you can get that with your car. I think that's something you need to look into, man, because from the front of the car you'll hear a whine like a little cat purring, and at the back of the car you got the grumble of the engine. It just sounds so good. I tell you one thing, there is no lag, like literally
there's no lag.
No lag. So why did you buy the S4?
Why did I go for the S4?
Yeah.
To be very honest, when I was looking to buy a new car, S4 was not something that was on my mind. I was looking to get a E60 M5. You know, the V10.
Yeah, I'm warning you right now, man. You'd have lost a lot more money on that.
Do you know what? Not just money, I might have lost my life, man. Especially the way, like, you know, sometimes, like, obviously a car like that, man.
Listen, the car wouldn't have killed you. Before the car killed you, the bank would come knock on your door because you'd be in debt to them, mate. Because that car would be a museum piece in your driveway. So trust me, you made the right decision by not getting one of them. Ooh, this car's got DSG bags and everything, I tell ya. Doesn't even understeer that much.
No understeer, no nothing. And I mean, I don't know how, you know, like the road is a bit wet. It's not that wet.
Yeah,
but like,
it's not.
But just, you know, just the way it just grips.
I can feel it. Like I can feel the inside of your tires working literally right now underneath. You know. Ooh. Oh my god, that sounds good. Oh my god, that noise is unbelievable, man. The Quattro gives so much confidence, doesn't it? Like you're able to just.
We're able to just like literally anyway, like.
You can literally put down 100% of the power all the time. Oh my god, that noise is echoing out of those trees. Such a sleeper as well, this car. Looks like a normal A4. Only the trained eye will know that this is an S4, you know? I can smell a bit of rub, I can tell. The Quattro's been fighting with your wheels.
The Quattro's been fighting, it's been fighting.
Literally, I think that's the inside of your rubber that's smelling right now, isn't it? The inside of the tire. So yeah, now Mo's let me jump in the driver's seat. So first I'm just gonna get, I don't want to start going at it straight away. I want to drive a bit calm, see what it would be like for a daily driver. So first off the bat, I've got to say your steering was really thin. Like,
well,
there's there's like no bolstering to it. But I kind of like this. I like thin wheels, if I'm honest with you, because you want to be able to grasp your hands on it and get a bit of steering feel, you know. In terms of comfort, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said to you off camera, my brother used to have a 2-litre diesel version of one of these, and it doesn't feel any different. So when you drive calm, like I'm doing right now, you can't tell that, you know, you're driving an S4. It just feels like,
city, like, I mean, you can hardly even hear it.
Yeah, look, right now there's no grumble at all. I mean, look, where the revs are on 1,500. This DSG gearbox, if you drive calm, it will do its thing.
They've said like around the city it can be a bit dim-witted, like in four gears.
Yeah, because it's a dual clutch, so it's a bit snappy.
A dual clutch, yeah.
Like, you just throw you in your seat a bit and all that. But in generally speaking, if you want to drive calm, this car will do that for you, you know. Suspension as well is quite nice and soft, man. I'm excited to get to a point where I can experience what the Supercharger feels like. But already, look, even just with the light throttle, There's just no turbo lag at all. I mean, the revs are so low, like they're under 2,000, but as soon as I touch the gas, the car just moves. There's no delay whatsoever. The thing is, you can't appreciate it because this is all you ever know. But coming from someone who drives a turbocharged car, and I drive other turbocharged, mine's not got that much turbo lag. No. Barely any. No, they're 135. They're nice. That's what I'm saying. They're tuned very well in that sense. Yeah. But it's always going to be there. This, no, as soon as I put my foot, gearbox and the engine just do this thing. Oh my God! Wow, those bangs are so aggressive.
But it doesn't, like, to me, it doesn't sound the same as a Golf 4 bang.
It doesn't sound as good as the Golf 4 bangs, 100%. No, but that is still violent though.
It's like a different sort of bang.
I think they sound good. Now I'm telling you, man, I can tell this is a supercharged car. Oh my God! The Quattro is so confidence inspiring, man. Literally, like wherever I point my steering wheel, it just goes. It just goes. I love that noise, man. I love that noise. I mean, honestly, man, what a thing you've ticked off your bucket list to own a supercharged car. Such a responsive car, honestly. Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels like driving a naturally aspirated car. Your brakes are so sharp though.
Yeah, I mean,
you recently have it done, or?
It's probably done about. Nah, I mean, it's been a few months since I've done it, to be honest.
So they're still fresh.
Yeah, I think they've just got Brembo brakes.
Oh, they're so good, man.
They're not groove, no drill, standard brakes.
But literally, as soon as you tap that brake, but you know what it is as well? You know what I think it is? You were driving this car and you were pushing it, but because it's Quattro, when you get to the bend, you just let off the gas. You weren't braking, so your brakes aren't hot yet. Does that mean, you know, as they get hot, they stop working as well. It pulls so hard, it throws you back in your seat, doesn't it?
Like, you don't expect to see that from an S4, innit?
Nah, man.
But I don't know.
This is stock. This is stock.
This is stock, man. I haven't done nothing to it.
You've owned it for 4 years. I can't believe you've not tuned it, because people get bored of the power, they get used to it, you name it. So I'm surprised that there wasn't at least one point where you're like, yeah, I'm doing this.
I'll be very honest, I did want to tune it. But then when my gearbox went,
yeah, it put you off.
It put me off. I was thinking, alright, look, I'll go do my gearbox now. If I tune it, what if I get something else happening?
This is such a unique car, man. Trust me, listen, when I spoke to you that day when I approached you, you're so used to your car that you find it hard to believe someone's approached you and started speaking about your car because you're used to it.
I'm used to it. Like, I've had a few people approach me, but like, because it's just an S4, it's not even an RS4.
Nah, and it doesn't even have the Y factor looks either.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So you don't even get that attention.
Nah, that's the thing.
So when someone does that, you're like, you realize how lucky you are to have that car.
Trust me, like,
I have to say, I was not expecting this when I got into the driver's seat. I knew it was gonna feel very connected, very flawless in terms of power delivery. I knew that. That's what a supercharged is, but I've never driven one, so in my head I thought I've driven naturally aspirated cars, obviously, you know.
And obviously you drive an M135,
which is a turbocharged car.
Pretty much similar brake to this.
Yeah, similar brake, 100%. Similar brake. Oh, yeah, in terms of torque as well. On paper, very, very comparable cars. Obviously, this is a heavier car. It's got a 4-wheel drive system and it's a saloon. It's one level above the M135i in terms of size. But I didn't expect it to just feel this. Yeah, I can't explain it, because the supercharger just changes the whole experience. That is a very unique driving experience, a very unique one. And when you sell this car, I'm telling you this right now, get yourself prepared for that mentally, that no car will provide you with that. Does that make sense?
I hate the fact if you want a naturally aspirated car, there's not many options. I hate the fact the next best thing is a supercharged car, which is something that's a rarity. I hate the fact that turbocharged cars are the norm and there's no variety to pick from for automotive audiophiles such as myself. I think the B8 Audi S4 and S5 are the only affordable supercharged cars out there without breaking the bank, and that's really upsetting, as owning a supercharged car before 2050 is on my bucket list, and it seems there's not that many options out there. The S4 in Estate From, or better known as Avant, is a great prospect. It has all the aforementioned great qualities, yet is extremely practical, which is something you don't get very often in a package. I think if you're looking for a reasonable super saloon, estate, coupe, or even convertible, the S4 and S5 has all of that covered with such a linear power delivery from that mighty engine, and I urge anyone that is devoted to NA cars to give this engine a go, and I don't think they'd regret it. The DSG marries the engine perfectly, no matter how unreliable it may be. Mo has owned this S4 for 4 years. I don't think I need to say anything else. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon for the next one. Take care.